All right, guys, we are back to talk about the East Cleveland Mayor Brandon King. He is finally out, suspended, booted, kicked to the curb.
He's been suspended.
It comes as Mayor Brandon King defends himself against corruption charges.
A panel of 3 retired judges issued its final ruling. By a 2-to-1 vote, the commission suspended King from office effective immediately.
You know, he's got to be the most corruptedest individual I've ever seen in my entire life of politics.
Well said, my man, but not before absolutely wrecking the city's finances, handing out the government perks like their party favors, and treating the taxpayers' dollars like it's his own personal slush fund. This guy ran East Cleveland like a corrupt mob boss, and now he's finally facing the consequences. It took them long enough. So let's break down how we got here, what happens next, and how this whole thing is just a complete disaster. One more question though. Do you want to be mayor of East Cleveland? Because you can actually submit an application and become mayor. I'm not kidding.
Judge Anthony Russo is accepting applications for interim mayor, which are due next week.
So we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. This isn't just another bad mayor situation. King wasn't just incompetent, he was straight up stealing. Investigators found that in between 2019 and 2023, King redirected over $76,000 in city money to businesses owned by him and his family, meaning he directly used his position as mayor to cut himself a check. And that's just the stuff that they caught.
King was indicted in October on 11 counts of alleged wrongdoing, including felony theft in office,
unlawful contracts, and soliciting improper compensation. He pleaded not guilty back to those charges back in November. Prosecutors say he funneled city contracts to his own businesses and gave a councilman a city vehicle and gas cards.
And while he was busy running his own personal stimulus program, East Cleveland was falling apart. The city is already in serious financial troubles. The roads are falling apart, crime is still through the roof, public services are basically non-existent. Meanwhile, King was out there spending the money the city didn't have. East Cleveland City Council approved a $26 million budget for 2023. Mayor Brandon King, he tried to spend $36 million. That's $10 million more than the city could afford.
On Thursday, City Council filed an emergency resolution to charge the mayor and finance director with dereliction of duty. City Council told 3 News the mayor's proposed budget of $36 million is $10 million more than the budget City Council approved. City Council says East Cleveland will be $30 million in debt in the next 5 years if the mayor continues the spending.
The council members begged him to stop, and he just ignored them. They warned that East Cleveland was on track for a $30 million debt. He didn't care. This guy was running the city into the ground and treating the taxpayer money like it was his monopoly cash. How did he get away with this? Well, because he basically ignored literally everyone. The city council, they tried to hold him accountable, but he just ghosted them. In the budget, he spent whatever he wanted. There was no public transparency there because he held secret meetings and blocked council members from attending. And obviously, he likes to smoke and hang out on city property in the middle of the night with his homeboys.
He captured this video of Mayor Brandon King back in July.
It's devastating what's in the video. Our city leader, the mayor, is on camera drinking and smoking in our city hall.
So while the city was burning financially, the mayor was hosting a frat party in the city hall garage. So finally the state steps in. After months of people screaming, "Get this guy out of here," the state of Ohio finally stepped in. A panel of retired judges voted 2-to-1 to suspend him from office. This is a big deal. King is officially out as mayor while his criminal case moves forward. Now let's be real, this guy is in some serious trouble. If convicted, he could be looking at real prison time. And honestly, it wouldn't be surprising if he had a cell waiting for him already. So at this point, who is running East Cleveland now? That's a great question. Apparently, no one knows.
Imagine living in a place where your mayor has been suspended and officials are fighting over who is really in charge of the city. That's what East Cleveland residents are dealing with.
And while a judge will decide who will become acting mayor, for some, the confusion continues.
Who is the interim to the interim?
Well, currently we are in the process of working out with the Supreme Court.
A power grab in full swing in East Cleveland, causing chaos, confusion, and finger pointing.
Well, 2 council members called for an emergency meeting to demand the now suspended mayor return his city vehicle, building keys, and remove his name from city bank accounts and the website.
The city charter says that if a mayor is removed, the city council president should take over. It sounds pretty simple, right? Wrong. Because East Cleveland is so dysfunctional, city officials can't even agree on who that is.
That's East Cleveland Clerk of Council Mansell Baker. However, City Council President Lateef Shabazz claims he's the next in line to be mayor per the city's charter. But the city's law director, Willa Hemmons, says she's acting mayor. I stopped by City Hall. Councilman Shabazz did not respond to my messages, and Hemmons refused to go on camera.
So instead of doing something logical, now the county's probate court is now taking applications for mayor. Yes, application. Like if you want to work at McDonald's or Amazon.
Cuyahoga County Probate Court has taken up the dispute, and Judge Anthony Russo is accepting applications for interim mayor, which are due next week.
If you ever wanted to run a bankrupt, crime-ridden city, now's your chance. Submit your resume and just hope for the best. Judge Anthony Russo will review the candidates and pick an interim mayor by Valentine's Day, February 14th. That person will hold the job until next election in November. Now that King is finally out, there's a few things that are going down. Will King go to prison? Well, the case against him is pretty strong. The prosecutors say they have a mountain of evidence. If convicted, he's going to be locked up for a long time. Who's taking over? Who's going to be the mayor? Well, like I said, a random judge is picking the next mayor. Will that person be any better? No clue. Can East Cleveland recover from this? The city is some deep financial hell. The next mayor has to clean up King's mess. Good luck with that. Brandon King's suspension is a win for accountability, but it's still not enough. East Cleveland has been run into the ground by corrupt politicians for decades. So yeah, King is finally out, but the city is still a mess. Whoever steps in next better be ready for the fight of life, because East Cleveland doesn't just need a new mayor, it needs a miracle.
Would you all agree that this is one of the most vital, critical times for the city of East Cleveland as far as the council and the mayor?
A community in turmoil facing a tough question. Who will be the next mayor of East Cleveland?
So let me know what you guys think about this story in the comments below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.